All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Oh, holy cow. I didn't know tech stocks were allowed to go up.
Could this be the washout in the growth stocks in some of the tech sector? We got some key reversals to talk about. S&Ps, they have been all over the map, and they continue to be. As we speak, we're 7 handles away from that 9:30 opening. Make that 6 handles away from the 9:30 opening. Took out last week's low, tried to rally off the open, took out last week's low. We were headed for 4,100. There was no saving us. Boom. 0375. Ran into a couple lows from April, turned around, rallied 50 handles. Now it's just been chop suey here, really between like 4137, 38 and 4150, 4155. The high for the intraday session is a good 30 handles below that high from the overnight session. Crude, nice range, pressing up against the highs of the session here. That's up 48 cents at 65.40. Let's call the gold flat here. Let's call the gold flat at 1837.80. Silver, nice range in silver. Trading at the highs, too, of the session. That's up 21 cents at 27.705. And another reversal in Bitcoin. Didn't get quite to that 53,000 level we've been keying on. Instead, buyers came in at 54,375, and now you're up $1,340, just about 57,000 even. You can see the consolidation going on here in the futures, in the Bitcoin, 53 to 60. Let's call it. See where the next move is in Bitcoin.
Yeah, just a strange day all around. You look at some of these stocks that have been absolutely punished this year, having incredible days today. I'm talking stocks like Fubo, right? Fubo down 41% year to date, up 7.5% today, right? I'm talking Space, which came all the way back to green on the day. I'm talking apps, APPS, which has actually had an okay year, but up 4% today. I'm talking Palantir. What's Palantir up? 9% today, right? Roblox is ripping today, up 20%.
That had a good earnings report.
They had good earnings. This is Palantir good earnings too, and they're all down pre-market.
I mean, if you look at, you talk about the undercut and rallies, and that's basically what you had in all these stocks. And it's a tricky way to play things when they undercut the previous day's low, which was the low of the move, and then you come back up through it. Palantir, several down days in a row, breaking that streak. So you have a tradable bottom there. If you want to lean, what is the low for today? The low for today, 1706. Traded lower than that in the pre-market, and then buyers came in. Zoom, same thing here. Undercut the low from yesterday and then came roaring back. How did it look here? Come on, Zoom. Didn't trade. I like to see where things trade in relation to the pre-market low. Here you can see, I think people were just thrown in the towel here, but basically Zoom straight up from the open. ARKK, I got to give it to Triple D. He said, tweeted it out just after the open. This could be the buying opportunity, red, and then turn to green.
Yeah.
Not even at yesterday's high, a small gap to fill there. So this is the first up day of these stocks. So finally, perhaps a little bit of relief in this sector. The rotation's wicked. I just got off the phone with Dennis, and he had an okay night last night. Some of the other hedge traders, that we're going with like soft hedges instead of going steel versus steel,
Yeah.
or metals versus metals. Anybody that tried any exotic hedges got smoked. Whereas the index was down, 1.5, 2% in some of these stocks. I think Square was one he mentioned. Opened up down 5, 6, 7%. So Square didn't quite get to the quad bottom there, just above 200. But boy, oh boy, we're tailing off into the close here, Spencer. Not a good look for the S&Ps. Now we are lower by 4 points from where we opened this morning. So just tried to rally, tried the old 330 Spencer Israel rally trick, but doesn't look like it's happening.
Look, and JG's saying it in chat. He's being a little facetious. I think value sucks. Growth is back. Well, at least for the day. And Dennis has been saying for a couple of days now, maybe even a week, that or longer, growth is oversold. Right? It will balance at some point. Well, today is that balance. Look at stocks like Fastly, right, which is down 51% this year. It's up 10% today. What else did I not say already? Did I say Plug Power? Did I say Fuel Cell? I mean, these stocks have been punished. Fuel Cell is up what? 9% today. Plug is up 17% today. These things have been destroyed this year, and they're getting that bounce.
There's a couple things too that can contribute to that dynamic. For something like the Fastly here. Actually, this one hasn't really distanced itself too much. Oh man, that's a big range on that thing. But that opened up near the low of yesterday's session. Got down to 40.21, 40.73. It did have 3 or 4 lows right around 41. So if you had enough staying power to pick that up at 41, you did have 4 lows in the same area. On days like that, like for how many days did the shorts have to cover, or anyone that was building a long position? How many days here do you fall? Are you able to buy into a falling market? That's what you want when you're trying to build a position. Today it turned. So instead of your bids just getting obliterated, you're lifting offers, and it's a different dynamic. And then the offers beget more bids, and there's competition. I mean, this stock has come down. This is a 3-for-1 stock split since the middle of February. Looking to see if we can get up to 48.50. That was your high on May 6th. Didn't quite get there yet, but after that 48.50, you start to work your way into the gap. So bottom fishers being rewarded here in some of the beaten down, oversold growth stocks.
Yeah, obviously I'm joking. This is one day. I'm not saying value sucks and growth is back. If anything, I'm saying the opposite. Sell right. Sell the rip. This is,
What is what do you have? For the value. I mean, I see a few different things. I see FedEx taking it on the chin a little bit. I see UPS finally taking a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
What else? Procter and Gamble, that's down a stick, but made a high from yesterday. What else is falling in?
I use the DIA as a proxy for value. I use the XLF, which is down 1.5% or 2% now as a proxy for value. I use Staples XLP as a proxy for value. They're all down today.
Yeah, just a little bit of rotation, right? Keeps the market afloat. You're selling something, you're buying something else.
Well, and it's not down today yet is material still XLB, Nucor, US Steel, all of them still not down. These things can't. This Nucor isn't ever going to stop.
Oh, it's
ever going to stop.
Well, they reflect the commodity prices, right?
How many up days in a row is that? Like, is that
okay, let's see. Oh, what are you trying to do? Get me to short this thing?
12?
Let's take a look. 6, 7. There's no such thing
13,
as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13-day winning streak. If that doesn't spook you, I don't know what does. But great hold on this one. They made that new all-time high around 80 and didn't shake Triple D out of it. It's just going. And uh, Morgan Stanley gave U.S. Steel an upgrade today. So new core steel dynamics. How's that today? Didn't quite make a new high of the move. So, the trend continues in these commodity stocks, base metal stocks are related to the metals.
Yeah. I mean, their commodities are all up, as you said at the top, right? Finally, seems like gold is starting to go a little bit, but I mean, they're all commodities. It's not just
You corn traders, man, I don't know. 3 highs within a nickel between 730 and 735. For you corn traders, soybeans, beans in the mid-teens. That's a new high for the move for soybeans. Wheat, how's wheat doing?
oh,
Wheat consolidating here under the high of the move, 768 a bushel.
Look at this Home Depot. The mommy just said they're buying Home Depot. Look at that candle today.
Who?
The mommy. There, it's up on the screen.
The mommy.
HD down 3% today and change. Finally.
Oh, the mommy. Okay. I thought I was thinking this was some TikTok personality or something.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know these things.
Wow, you're buying the dip, huh? Man, that's the first day of the dip, mommy. I'd be careful here. First red candle down 11 sticks. I'd be careful on this one. I don't know. Maybe if you're prepared to buy more at 320. But after several up days in a row, you get the lower open, you get the big red candle bearing down on, well, it's off that low 328.21. But boy, oh boy, I hope you're leaving yourself some room here. Major league support. 320 Home Depot. Lowe's, I'm going to talk to the investment committee tomorrow.
Ooh.
Would love to unload some. Wow, that's a $200 stock, man. I think we got this thing in like the 40s. That's not right. Oh man,
Murphy.
But you know what? When I show the other member of the investment committee this chart, you know what she's going to say? Why would I sell it? It's going up.
Well, and that's when you pull out some fancy indicator where like, well, actually, this indicator says.
I'll tell you one that I'm going to lobby for hard.
What are you going to lobby for?
To keep an eye on L Brands.
Yeah. I'm surprised because typically, unless I'm wrong, but I thought I remembered spin-off events are typically seen as good things.
Yeah, but it was under the value of this. I don't want 2 stocks.
Yeah,
I don't want 2 retail stocks that I have to worry about.
I bet you don't.
I don't want an underwear stock and a clothing stock. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna work hard with the investment committee on this one.
Wait. Bath and Body Works is fragrances, first of all.
Fragrances?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that worse? That might be worse.
And then the other Victoria's Secret is like the fancy underwear and stuff, right?
I know you want neither, and frankly, you by not selling, it was one of the greatest not sales ever.
We bought this thing. I don't even know where. I know it was in the I think it was like right here, middle of 2018. I remember I think 33, 34. Then they had to pop to 38. And I'm like, man, this is looking good. And then it got down in the financial crisis to $8. And I drew this line in here, the January 2017 high of 68.44. I drew that in a long time ago. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably not going to have much luck. I should know. And I definitely will try and avoid buying any more stuff. But that's what else do we got? What else do we have that we're talking about this morning movers? Or give me some value that's getting shellacked. See if we can find some support.
Give you some value that's getting shellacked. All right.
Can't find it.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to bring up something interesting here with Amazon. That was my pre-market prep stock of the day. Look at that, man. Earnings, new all-time high. Okay, now the reason I want to bring this up is that stock closed like at 34.70 the day before earnings. It hit 36.60, Spencer. 30, just a 10-point rally in the S&Ps there, back in the 4140 handle. It got into 36.65, right? And then it tapered off. But what I think the most interesting thing about this is like, because it was at earnings after the close. The old all-time high in that issue was 52 and a quarter, right? From September. Here, and only if you're using that as a target, if you could just block out all the after, I know we focus on the after hours trading, but if you could just focus what the all-time high was, 52 and a quarter, well, it would have went a $1.75 against you when it went to 35.54. But then you saw, 5 out of 6 down days. Green candle today, kind of in the middle of nowhere. So nice reversal for Amazon. We'll see if we can get back up to at least not even at the high from yesterday. That was up 35.54.
Chat's got a few things. I mean, basically every value stock is more or less down today, right? If you want to look at like Staples, like Berkshire Hathaway is down a little over 2%. That's value. Banks are down. Someone mentioned Hanes Brands, which we like never talk about on this show. HBI, they had earnings this morning. They're down today. I guess that's value. I'm honestly not quite sure.
Well, that's a haircut in that stock. But that was still kind of a little of a buy the dip, though. Where'd we open? 1903, went to 1850, and rebounded. Boy, let's see if we can get back over that high from the day and get into this gap area. You know what? I haven't, on my way to Holland, I went by Duluth Trading. And how's that stock doing? I want to go in there and check it out. Pretty bad. I don't know if anybody trades or invests in this, but man, what's jumping out to you is like that high from last month. 1750. Not that would be a clean breakout there over 1750, but you're trading in the lower 17 handle as we speak. Spoo's battling back here into 4140 handle. So we're just having some 8, 9, 10-point rips, here and there. Nothing major.
Trent says he slept on Callaway Golf last night. Oh wait, is that a bad thing or a good thing? I'm not quite sure what that means. I interpreted that to mean that he took it home with him, in which case he's up 12.5% today. But maybe that's not what it meant.
They have earnings?
They had earnings yesterday, and they were great. And then it gave it back at the open. Right, it was down. It was up after hours. It was down in the pre-market, and then it ripped at like what 11 o'clock or something like that. But
was that during the call or something?
No. This is much later in the day. They were.
What's interesting about this one? I'm glad you held on to that one. If you were leaning on yesterday's low, bad day yesterday, boy, it got close to it, 29.85, but you got the 30.06, boom, ripped. I just wanted to see what this was doing in the after hour or in the pre-market, just to give a reference point. I mean, that's another good thing to keep an eye on when you're trying to buy, dips on stocks. Where are they trading in relation? Got down, wow, 30 it held in the after hours, 30 it held in the pre-market, and then the 30 it held off the open. So that's a nice breakout here off some fundamental news. Good, congratulations. Good thing you slept on it.
Good call out. Wait, who just called this out? Costco. Who just called that out? Who just called that out in chat? I just had it. Whoever mentioned Costco, and I had you in the chat, and then I lost you. I forgot. Can't find you now. But it's down today. Look at that double top on Costco.
Double top. Also, just up near all-time highs or all-time highs. You just eked it out. You had an all-time high. 3.8. Oh, you didn't get there. That was close. 388.07, your December high. Yesterday, you got the 387.89. Peeling back today, but still, it's a little bit of a 2-day move. For this one, I'd be focusing on 373. Wow, we got a bunch of lows between 205 and 375. So there's your support there. 2 down days doesn't make the end of the world here, but
Yeah.
I think more downside under, let's just call it 372.
No, I mean, and whoever just mentioned this too, looking at this is how you know Joel Hat looking at Ride. Right, Ride's up 5%. If Ride's up 5%, you know it's one of those days. So
Let's see. I hope Marcus is doing okay. Only a few more days.
I mean, it's
5%. It's up 37 cents. It's trying. I mean, I don't know what the next catalyst is going to be for it, but it's certainly trying to. We're all cheering for Marcus on this one.
Yeah. Okay, real fast. We are 8 minutes away from the close. Here is the earnings schedule for tonight/tomorrow morning. You see names on there like Fubo, Unity, QuantumScape, EA tonight. Tomorrow is Wix, and that's kind of it. Wendy's. I don't really. Do we care about that? Maybe not. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe Lumentum. I don't know. Not many tomorrow to speak of.
That's LT. Yeah, I mean, you got some flyers in there, right?
Yeah.
What's Lumentum? I got the wrong symbol.
It's light, right? LITE.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way these things are acting, the way some of these stocks have come off the low and the move, I don't know if I'd want to necessarily be short going into these reports, or if you think you're trying along. It just seems like, you had to wash out some stocks, take another day or two. But it's gonna be a rough and rumble after hours, and really just a lot of chop. But we did lose, my weekly level. We took out the weekly low, but we couldn't bust below 4,100. So. And once again, you had a lot of action overnight. You had some action early, but now a lot of chop and slop heading into the close.
Did you see Triple D today? I mean, the stock, not the person.
No, I may never see Triple D again.
We might not. 34% it's up today.
Earnings?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but look at the after hour. Look at the overnight. Look at that. 22 yesterday, down to 18 this morning, pre-market, up to 23, 24 this afternoon.
Wow.
Just wicked moves.
Wow. Triple D. And then what are our other 3D plays? XONE.
Yeah.
What else is there? That's having a good day. What's the other main one? Oh, is SSYS still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah, I mean, these are the days. These are the turnaround days. That's what you need. That's what you need to keep and rely on is the lows for today. Undercut. Also, the lows, the closes today. All those that have tried to pick the bottom just for one day, they'll be eyeing that mark tomorrow. What else do we got? What else? Values getting hammered. AT&T. Giving back some of the gains from yesterday. How about Verizon? That's giving back. Made a new high for the move yesterday. Let's give it back some gains as well.
All right, let's get some more likes here. We got like 40 likes and hundreds of viewers. So let's get up to 150 likes. Before the close, we got 5 minutes until the close, and when that happens, I will say goodbye to Joel and hello to Edwin Dorsey from the Bear Cave to talk about short reports. What happened in short report land last week?
Penn undercut and rally there. New low for the move. We were talking about 80. It got substantially below that. Where did we get to? We got to, did we really get to 74.45 today? Wow. Where was that in relation? Oh, look at that. Right? Pre-market low, folks. The change in color here is the after hours in the pre-market. This is from the after hours from last night. Here's the pre-market right up to the bell. So pretty close, 74. That was your pre-market low. 74.45. That is your intraday low. Let's see if Donkey Kong had a reversal too here. That actually had a good earnings report
Yeah,
a couple days ago, and it got hammered.
sort of a reversal. I don't know.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, it's off the low. That's good. 42.22, 42.66 open. Wow, you got another $2 until you get to the yesterday's high. So a lot of damage, not dissing itself from the low as much as you like. But you got levels to lean on. Kevin wants me to look at OSTK.
Yeah, which we haven't talked about it for a hot second on this show. It's really been quiet. I'll never forget this stock was the best performer of the year from the bottom to the top in
$2.53 was your bargain price.
$2 to 128 in the span of 5 months.
Yeah. You had a little gap up here, and did they fill that gap today? You had a gap down. Oh, that is nice. I hope you were paying attention to this one, folks. You had a gap between 73.80 and 71.75. If you hit that 71.75, if you just stuck your bid out and said, I don't care, fill the gap on me, you took 68 cents worth of heat when it went down, actually filled the gap, and now a reverse. This one's hanging in there. It's more of a stay-at-home stock to me, more than anything else, but building a trading range, and it's been above 80. This is not a super clean chart, but if you throw out that low from the day and you throw out this high, a lot of consolidation, a lot of lows just under 75, a lot of trading between 75 and 80. You want to just see it hang up here, hang up here, hang up here, hold this low, and maybe turn up. But once again, kind of a stay-at-home stock.
And then we were asked about a Freeport McMoran FCX, which I've not looked at the chart, but I imagine it looks a lot like U.S. Steel, which it does. So, and then the question was though, this person is long and strong, and they're asking
long and strong.
Yeah, they're asking me if this is a good time to
take out 46. You know what? Use the low. You got a really nice bounce off today's low, 40.86. So if you sat that out, going through $2 approximately through the low from yesterday, I don't know if there's a big seller up there at 46. Let's see. I mean, if this continued to linger here and didn't take out that 46, maybe you would want to sell a little bit into strength. But definitely under today's lows where you could get some more downside in FCX. I think the stock, I wonder if we got some history on this one. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. What are the monthlies? Monthlies are telling you next monthly high is 53.44. I do see a high in November of 2011. That's 46.76. So pesky level at 46. Let's see if we can take that out over the next couple days.
We got a comment from Dave. Well, actually, it's not Dave. It's Dave. Got it. Need it. I'm glad you got it, Dave. Dave was not watching this morning, but he was listening to us. There's the bell. He said he was listening to us. Something like the sky was falling this morning. And Dave, I will have you know that I stepped in and planted my bull flag this morning.
You did.
So maybe these two guys were all chicken little on us, but I was standing strong. Long and strong.
Dennis was talking about trying to buy the dip in some of these growth stocks.
It's true. That's the problem with Dennis is he can spend 20 minutes telling you how bearish he is, and then in the very next breath say, "Oh, by the way, I'm trying to buy the dip today."
Yeah, it's because seeing that order flow off the open, yeah. And I guess the lesson today, when things are that, I mean, they're really pounding this stuff in the pre-market. And so if you can use those lows and lean on. Spoo's getting a nice pop up here into the close, 56.25. So
all right.
Once again, took out the weekly low, turned it back. I'll let you go to your shortcast.
Yeah, INTU just cut their guidance. So if you're looking at what's going on,
what did
Intuit INTU?
Let's take a look.
That's a company that I'm so amazed that like they're kind of still around in a way, because it's like TurboTax, which you have to pay for, and that stuff is like free. Like
Yeah.
everybody has a right to free tax software.
Is
So
it halted, or is just no one wants to trade it?
I don't know.
Hey, if you're trading it, boom, boom, boom. So far, the monthly low is 85.66. Still pretty good distance away from that.
Not
All right, Spencer.
Hey, Joel. See you tomorrow.
Adios, amigos.
Let's bring on the man with a plan who follows for fun, because he likes to. He follows short reports. He keeps track of them. Who's doing what? Who's saying what? And Edwin, I want to talk to you about Andrew left here, but after you get to your stuff. So Edwin Dorsey from the Bear Cave. Edwin, how are we doing today?
Spencer, I'm doing great. I did see you did an awesome interview with Andrew on Jumia, so we have some stuff to talk about there. But there was 5 new activist short reports last week, so we have some stuff to talk about, and we can talk about Jumia too.
I am very curious. I don't know how long you've been tracking this stuff, but in terms of like overall quantity, I've gotten the general feeling, but I don't know. I have no data to back this up. I've gotten the general feeling of the sense that just the activity from activist shorts has gone way, way down over the last, like, I don't know, 5 years. Or am I wrong in that regard? Or
so I don't know, for 5 years. I think there was a big boom back when there was the China reverse mergers. I have a feeling that's actually been increasing a lot because a lot of new people are starting to notice, as long as you have a Twitter or a blog, you can potentially be a new activist short. So I think new ones are launching every month.
Maybe in the last 8-10 months. Sure. Okay.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Share your screen if you can, because I know you've got some stuff for us to see on that regard. And just to follow up on the Intuit note real fast, they cut their Q3 sales guidance, but it looks like their guidance for the fiscal year is unchanged. Looks like it's kind of weird headline there. They said they expect to exceed their guidance for the year, but they cut their guidance for the quarter. Okay. Anyway, Edwin Dorsey, what do we got last week?
So let's talk about Jumia last. Hindenburg published a really great short report on Pure Cycle Technologies, ticker PCT. There's ESG themed SPAC that supposedly has a new way to recycle plastic. The stock reacted really negatively to the short report. I think Hindenburg's best point he made is that 6 companies have been taken public by Pure Cycle's management. All 6 have failed, and one only had a 95% decline. So that's never a good sign. Roth Capital and Craig Hallam served as the investment bank sponsors, and both rate the stock a buy. But the Hindenburg report on Pure Cycle Technologies was the big one last week that kind of made an impact.
Wait, is that gap there? That's the report?
Yes, that's the report.
The market liked it. The
market really liked it. Yeah.
All right.
And the investors didn't. Blue Orca Capital, which is run by Soren Andal, focuses mainly on China ideas. He published on So Young International, a roughly $1 billion Chinese company. It's like a web platform where you can book cosmetic surgeries.
Is it in the U.S. or no?
In China. It's listed in the U.S. under the ticker SY, but it mainly trades in China. And what he did, I thought it was really interesting, is he scraped the website twice. And over that time period, he saw how the bookings changed and was basically able to extrapolate by looking at individual facilities and the overall trend that at least 80% of these bookings must be fake. He'd call the actual clinics, and the numbers they'd give him would dispute the numbers being shown on the platform. And the way that this company allegedly inflates these bookings is that they induce clinics to book fake revenue on the platform and then refund the fees that would go to the company. So they give incentives to people to book fake revenue, or clinics to book fake appointments on the platform, and then pay them off for doing it. And he links to a bunch of Chinese media reports that have talked about this happening. So far, the stock, hasn't performed well since going public, and the stock sold off a little on the report. He kind of compared it to this other company called Mogu Inc., which is another Chinese platform.
That one, but that one held up okay.
What?
That one's held up, right? MOGO?
MOGU. They ended up down 90% and now trade at net cash. And that's what he says is going to happen to So Young as more and more investors realize the revenue being reported by the company isn't all economic and arm's length.
These Chinese companies are going to be really careful.
The third activist short report was Culper Research on this company, Aterian, ticker ATER. This one is interesting. They're like a roll-up of consumer products companies. So they have a back scratcher that's really good. They have some special hand sanitizer. They, in theory, are really good at getting brands to be able to sell on Amazon. But if you look, a lot of the people who they're acquiring companies from or in the management team are supposed felons or scam artists. He says that 25% of the shares belong to 2 felons who are going to be free to start selling stock in August. It's a small company, roughly $500 million. But what it looks like, kind of the way this company works, is they acquire products or make products that have had a one-time pandemic benefit, but that isn't going to repeat in future years, even though investors are kind of extrapolating, if they had this much in earnings this year, it's going to grow next year. In reality, it's a lot of one-hit wonder products. As soon
as you said back scratcher, I'm out.
So yeah, that was interesting. The last activist short, Spencer, Spruce Point published a second update on Danimer Scientific, ticker DNMR. He basically filed a FOIA request with the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection that showed that the company was overstating production of their plastics by 50% and overstating the pricing that they were getting. I don't know what to make of it. But so far the market's reacted really negatively to Danimer, and the stock's sold down a lot since Spruce Point started talking about it. And then the coolest thing that happened last week is Citron published positively about Jumia Technologies, $3 billion African eBay type e-commerce company. The general thesis seemed to be that Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon have all started announcing big investments in Africa, and Jumia is the perfect acquisition target because it's already built out a lot of the infrastructure needed for e-commerce there. They have the 5th most admired brand and the most used app, Citron said. And it was kind of interesting because I think 2 years ago when Jumia first went public,
he's not a fan.
He said it was a fraud and they were dramatically overstating sales, and they ended up selling off. And now he's gone around and been pretty bullish on it. And I saw he did an hour-long interview with you. I don't know what to make of it all, but I found it interesting, especially because it does make sense that if one of these bigger players wanted to start making an e-commerce app in Africa, it might make sense for them to acquire Jumia. And at a $2.2 billion valuation with $700 million in cash, that could be interesting.
So, yeah, it makes sense. What I'm still not really sure about, though, is as you said, Edwin, pretty much the meat of his thesis is that they are a prime candidate for a takeover. That's pretty much, it's not his only point, but that's kind of his main point, right? And if that's your main point, then call me skeptical, because this is a company with declining revenue year over year. During a pandemic, when every other e-commerce company had the best year of their lives, right? So I get it that they're the only game in town for African e-commerce. But Andrew's main point was look, it's just too difficult for an Amazon or a Facebook or an Alibaba or a JD to do it themselves. They're better off buying a company that's already established like Jumia. Maybe he's right. I don't know. But the fact that the takeover is sort of his main point sort of gave me a little pause there.
One other factor he talked about, and Spencer, I agree with you, is he said there's a Tesla Q factor where everybody thought Jumia was going to go bankrupt and going to go under, but they didn't. And then they were able to raise a lot of cash. So I think now they have around $700 million of cash, largely from equity offerings. Their losses have slowed to the point of where they're near break even, I believe. And they've said they're going to pivot away from like less profitable electronics to more profitable other businesses. And he's like, now that it's clear they're not going bankrupt in the immediate future, they've got a fair runway to figure things out. That said, it is Africa, and who knows if there's still fraud or not fraud, or if these companies would want to build a competitor on their own. But it's interesting.
Edwin, I got to give you some props. Last we spoke, I think it was last week, maybe even 2 weeks ago. Time is a flat circle for me. But I was trying to defend Peloton a little bit. And you were saying no, this is not good. I was saying, well, hold on here. This isn't a Peloton specific problem. All treadmills are dangerous for kids and small pets. And you were saying, no, I think they kind of bungled this. And you were right, because not only did they issue a recall, but they apologized for the way they bungled it in the first place with their initial response saying that they weren't going to do any recalls. They were like, that was a mistake on our part. So yeah, we're going to take all this stuff back. And you nailed it, man. You nailed it.
Yeah, I think they realized they were in a hole. And what Warren Buffett says is, when you realize you're in a hole, the first step is to stop digging. And luckily they didn't fight it for too long, and they just did a recall, and their stock got a hit. But now I'd imagine the worst is behind them, and they've got a good brand. Another company, if you want to talk stocks, that's on my radar is UAVS, Ag Eagle Aerial Systems.
This is a SPAC, right?
No, it's not a SPAC. It was a reverse merger shell. There's a Liechtenstein-based hedge fund called Alpha Capital Ansalt that takes the stakes in a lot of companies, sometimes installs new management, and a lot of these companies will see 1,000% pop and then a kind of drop, and Alpha Capital will get these convertible preferred notes that allow them to get 9.9% equity stake, sell it all down, and just basically issue equity at inflated prices. This company, I'm very skeptical of them and have been for a while. They had like 9 people in end of 2019. They basically make a drone that's supposedly good at like getting data for hemp farmers and like agricultural data. In reality, their drone is like a remote control plane with a GoPro hooked onto them.
Yeah, I thought this was the one that you liked. It's only $4, man. How much it was at? How high was it? It was like 17.
It was 17. I was 15 when I wrote about it the first time. I think this is zero. They like secretly tout, like make it seem like they have a partnership with Amazon, but they don't. Amazon has just flat denied having a partnership with this company. Like, this is one that I'm personally confident is like worth near zero or under 1, but it's still got,
right. So there's still meat on the bone, you're saying?
I'm saying there's still meat on a bone, and if somebody's looking for you don't know if this could squeeze or double or triple, but I'm super skeptical of the company. And I think if you look at the management team and try to understand the actual product, it's like this was like a 6-person like little scrappy company that somehow convinced the market they had an Amazon partnership, but they don't.
All right, question from Easy Mike. He says to ask you about ACIC.
ACIC.
Atlas Crest. That's a SPAC. Guys, help me out. Who's their target? I know their target, but I don't know their target. I'm sure Chris Kachi is watching. Oh God. Who's the target, guys? Archer Aviation. We had them on SPACs Attack. That's right. Archer Aviation. This is another drone play.
I don't know. So that probably is a lot more legitimate than UAVS. I just don't know it. But some of these companies, like when you have 6 employees and all of a sudden $1 billion market cap, and you've spent like $400,000 in total capex, it's like that just doesn't compute.
Yeah, and now I'm getting crap. Yes, I interviewed the guy. Okay, I cannot keep all these tickers straight. I'm sorry. This is why I hate SPACs. Truthfully. Like, I like them, but I hate them. And this is why. It's just too many. I can't commit this stuff to memory, especially when the ticker is going to change. Okay, I'm sorry.
One I wrote about recently, Spencer, is Goev, Goev. That's canoe.
Yeah, I know that one.
You know that one, Goev. I'm so beyond skeptical of Goev. I think in the 4 months since the SPAC merger happened in December, 5 months, the CEO, co-founder, CFO, general counsel, and like VP of strategy have all resigned. And if you look at the Glassdoor reviews for the company, the new chairman who took over, Tony Aquila, who's like a controversial businessman, all the Glassdoor reviews are like, as soon as this guy's taken over, the new management, everything's gone terribly. People are crying. We've lost all our culture. We have no advantage now. So I think it's funny because this is kind of like, a dumpster fire in plain sight.
This is why I like talking to you, because we spend so much time talking or what's a short based on the charts. But you're saying what's a short based on the fundies. I like that. There's not enough of that. Not enough of that, I think. Edwin Dorsey runs the Bear Cave newsletter. The link is in the description of the video. You should also just check out the link as I put it up on the screen whenever I find it. There it is. thebearcave.substack.com. Links to his Twitter, to his newsletter are in the description of this video. Edwin Dorsey joins us every Monday. Well, usually every Monday. This week is Tuesday. But every Monday at 4, talking about shorts. Anything else on your radar for the week in shortly? Any other stocks? Anything you like, or do you just hate everything?
I'm personally very bullish on Twitter, Spencer. As somebody who writes a newsletter and is kind of like in the FinTwit community, I think Twitter's got a lot of ways to monetize. I think their Spaces thing is going to be big. I think their Super Follows is going to be big. I think now that they're allowing tipping, people are like, oh, that's not going to affect them financially because they're taking 0% cuts of the tips. That's kind of true. But I think once you let creators start to earn money, people will put better content on the platform and invest more in the platform, partly for the tips. That'll lead to more engagement, more ad spending, stuff like that. I'm super, super bullish on Twitter.
All right, people are giving you some tickers to look at now. Somebody wants you to come back to us next week about Vuzi, V-U-Z-I.
Oh, I know Vuzi, Spencer. Spencer, can I share my screen? Hold on. Do you want to talk Vuzi?
Sure, let's talk Vuzi.
Let's talk
Vuzi. Didn't they report yesterday or today or tomorrow?
I think they reported like 2 days ago or something. Yesterday. And ARK is a big investor. I'm going to share my screen, okay?
All right. Yeah, I always confuse Vuzi and Vizio. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why because they're similar.
Okay, can you see my screen, Spencer?
Yeah, what do we got?
Oh, okay, so this is a little article I wrote about Vuzi. They've been consistently unprofitable. They sued a short seller a few years ago. They had a 75-for-1 split. They're a very promotional company. I think.
Wait, I'm sorry. Stop. Did you just say 75-for-1?
Yeah, they did a 75-for-1 reverse split. Which is, I think, when they uplisted back in 2013. Yeah, so they were OTC and Canadian. Then they did a 75-for-1 reverse split when they were uplisting to the
Nasdaq. What was the stock at? Like a fraction of a penny?
I don't know, but it must have not been too hot. And it's just been one of these stories where they have got super, in my opinion, promotional management that's always good at telling a story, but sometimes has troubles executing. They're based in actually my hometown of Rochester, New York. They make glasses like these for augmented reality. Shares outstanding have gone from about 15 million in 2015 to 35 million today. So they're consistently unprofitable, and they make they fund their operations with share issuances. They've lost about $115 million since inception. They supposedly had paid Seeking Alpha promoters to write like bullish articles about the company. In fact, one of the authors on Seeking Alpha who is bullish on the company, Matt Margolis, is now Vuzi's was head of investor relations at the company. So I'm dead serious. I am 100% serious. This guy, Matt Margolis, who wrote 125 comments on Vuzi, and his Seeking Alpha articles have been taken down, but talked about Vuzi a ton on Seeking Alpha. Okay, is now Matt Margolis.
Maybe it's a different guy. in his defense, or no, it's not.
No, it's 100% the same guy. It's the same guy is now was hired as head of investor relations for the company, which is so wacky. Guys writing bullish seeking alpha articles about the company then gets hired as head of IR. The company put out a press release for a $7 million product order from this company called Sword. The CEO of Sword was actually arrested in Africa for like alleged fraud and cigarette smuggling. None of this, it's just when you see all this, like it doesn't make sense. Like some of their products are really wacky. Here's the CEO's brother who invented like this screen for like you can put over goggles so you can view videos while you swim.
What is the purpose? Who's gonna buy that?
I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to me. None of Uzi makes sense. Intel had a big stake that they sold out of this January, and as Intel has exited, ARK has come in and kind of given the company credibility. So that's kind of like where I stand with Uzi. Just too much doesn't make sense. And ARK, I think, is really good at technology themes and understanding what's going to be big in the future, but it's much worse at the single stock execution, which is why they invested in a Wirecard, which is why they invested in a lot of these like companies that I think are bad.
That might be like a good way of summing up their legacy, right? Great at finding themes, maybe not so great at finding individual names, though TBD on that. All right, Edwin, thanks a lot, man. Always a pleasure. thebearcave.substack.com. Everyone should check it out, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good. See you Monday, Spencer.
All right, guys, let's go into some earnings here. I've got a few minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up and segue to Cannabis Insider at 4:30. But let's bring up the pro. Let's go to my movers tool plus a news feed. I have it filtered for after hours movers here, and wouldn't you know it, Fubo, after having a great day today, up 8%, is blasting off in the after hours session. They gave earnings. Who cares about earnings, though? It's all about the guidance, the forward-looking stuff, okay? They say Q2 sales guidance is going to be around $120 million versus a $98 million estimate. Subscribers for the current quarter is going to be around 600,000 subs. For the year, we're looking at around 840,000 subscribers on sales of around $525 million. Both of those numbers above estimates. So the earnings are what they were. They lost money last quarter, is to be expected. Their sales came in higher, but forward-looking numbers always reign supreme over backward-looking earnings. And the guidance numbers were really good for the current quarter and for the year on Fubo. So if you look at the chart here, you will see what I'm talking about. I think it's going to the moon after hours here today. It seems like it, right? Let's get 15 minutes there. Look at that. Look at that. Let's go to a 1 minute chart. Look at that. Look at that. We're back in the 20s. Back in the 20s on Fubo. We haven't been there for a couple of days. A few weeks. Back in the 20s. All right, what else after hours? What else? Go back to my movers tool. What's up? Okay, I see Fubo atop my leaderboard. I see Big C, Big Commerce, also high on my leaderboard. Are they out yet? Yep. Oh, they just hit. Just hit. Where's my just hit? EPS beat, sales beat. To the chart we go. Big C up nicely after hours. Back to my tool. What else do I see? Open Door. Oh, it's all growth here. Open Door. Sales in line, EPS in line, sales beat. Stocks up. What is that? 4%. Winnebago. They report today? I don't remember seeing them on the calendar. Why is WGO up after hours? I don't remember seeing them. That looks like, whoa, what is that? I don't know what that was. All right. Moving right along. What else do we see? Playboy Group reports tomorrow, up after hours. What about what's down? Forget the what's up. What's down here? Vizio. And then they report. They're on the schedule, right? Pretty sure they were down 10%. Yeah, EPS beat, sales beat. They gave some platform guidance. Let's go into the press release and try to find if there's a reason for this. Of course, it's up year over year. Everything's up year over year. Give me a break. Give me something that's not year over year. All right, there's probably some estimate that I'm not aware of. Let's see if they gave guidance. They gave some Q2 guidance. That's it. All right, back to the chart. Vizio. All right, so we're down a little bit here. We're down what, 10% after hours? What else we got? What else are you guys watching here? Lemonade, Wish. Okay. Lemonade. I didn't see that one out yet. I don't see it out. Is the stock moving? I haven't looked. Lemonade. Yeah, it's trading, so it's probably out. Nope, not out yet. Wish, are they out? Nope. So this is my move. If you haven't seen this before, this is my movers tool. Okay, I use this in the morning, and I use it in the afternoon. I use it when the market's closed. Okay, so it's in Benzinga Pro. You just go to movers, right there it is, and I have two. I have one filtered by just stocks that are up, just gainers. I have another one for stocks that are down, just losers, and I have it set to the after hours session here, losers for the entirety of the session. I filter out low price stocks, and this tells me what's up and what's down in the after hours session for the day. This is my favorite tool on Benzinga Pro. My absolute favorite tool on Benzinga Pro. I use this tool more than any other tool. QS. Yeah, okay. They were on the calendar, right? Yep. Okay. Who cares about earnings? This company doesn't make money, and they're not supposed to. So, EPS missed. Oh, cash spent on operation. They gave that's some very specific guidance. Let's go to the press release, see what we can find. Anything interesting. Oh, see, they're going to make us go to their IR website. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to the IR website. Too lazy. Market's moving too fast. Can't be doing that. That's why we got Benzinga Pro. So bottom line is their EPS missed, and it looks like they gave some liquidity guidance. I don't know. Stock's down 3% after hours. Let's zoom out on this one. Ugh. I thought this was supposed to be the good one. Wasn't this supposed to be the good one? I don't know. Open door. Okay, we'll do one more, then I got to hop because we got cannabis up right now. Are they out yet? Yes. We talked about them, didn't we? No, we didn't. EPS in line, sales beat. Pretty sure this came up. Open door, right? Yeah. Up after hours, but already off its high. Already starting to leak. So let's wait for the call. See what they say on the call. But we got as high as 1850, looks like, right? 1849. Twice. Or actually 4 times. Okay. EA just out. Crap. All right. Let me just stay on for EA. You guys are quick. All right. Yeah. EA. Some weird adjustment there. All right. Weird adjustment for the quarter. Don't know what that's about. Did they give guidance? Here, some adjustments. There we go. EPS guidance. EPS for Q4 adjusted $1.23 versus $1.05. Sales of 1.49 versus $1.39 billion. So beating the beat. For last quarter, guidance for the year, EPS at around $1.34 in earnings per share for the whole year. Net revenue $6.8 billion. To the chart we go. All right, so it's just like sort of hanging out. It was down, now it's come back. It's just sort of hanging out. This one's tough. I said yesterday that I would think this one's going to beat purely off of what ATVI did, but this one's been a kind of tough compared to those other two, compared to ATVI and Take Two. EA has not played ball with them necessarily, so probably a good report to be expected because it's video games, but It is kind of the dog of the set, the dog of the group. All right, I gotta hop. It's 4:31. Cannabis Insider is up now. This stream will redirect straight to that. Please, please, please hit that like button, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, do all those things. I'll see you guys later. Cannabis Insider is up right now.